From KGW, this is The Good Stuff.
People love to come here. It's fantastic opportunity to provide places for people to recreate, get in the outdoors, get some exercise, and see some very interesting things.
Tonight on The Good Stuff, the stunning Oregon hike that may be even better during those rainy winter and spring days. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Deidre Johnson. We're headed first tonight to the Coast Range, a spot near Lincoln City that sees nearly 3 times as much rain as the metro area each year. But it's a great place for a getaway. Here's Grant McComey.
Drift Creek will carry you away, perhaps where imagination travels.
Pretty much all year long, you can come out and hike this trail.
Drift Creek Trail winds through dense, rain-drenched Siuslaw National Forest.
So you can see that we're changing into an older forest type right here, and some of these trees are probably what I would call old growth type trees. Some of the Douglas fir and even the hemlock.
The rain gear is kind of a necessity, at least have it in your vehicle and then make the call once you get to the trailhead. Also, you want to bring lots of water, food. You want to make sure you got a camera because you're going to see some pretty amazing things.
The Drift Creek Trail is amazing until you get to something even better and bigger that will take your breath away.
Look at this. Oh, man.
I love this place.
The 240-foot cable suspension bridge is the longest in any forest and a marvel to stroll.
Just the feeling that you're way above the ground because you're on a suspension bridge, you're 100 feet off the ground. With a stream down below you and a waterfall coming from different sides, it sort of triggers your auditory senses and really is quite a neat experience.
Anchored by cables and ties that are cemented into opposing bluffs, the bridge holds over 150,000 pounds. A bird's eye view will leave you spellbound, as does Drift Creek Falls, where Buckingham says something really big happened here during the summer of 2010.
The face of the falls and that entire rock tumbled into the stream below. And the stream is actually under the rock now. It goes underground. Whereas there used to be a pool.
That's right. After millions of years of standing tall, more than 150 feet of basalt rock wall fell into Drift Creek.
Sound must have been deafening. And if you were on this bridge, when that fell, it would have been really a terrifying experience, I believe. Yeah.
Just an explosion of rock and water and debris.
Yeah.
It's a thrill from way up here, the sort of hiking experience best enjoyed this time of year.
Now's the time to get out and view the falls, especially after a large rain event. You can get down here and just see something that you can't see in the summertime. It's not the same.
People love to come here. It's fantastic opportunity to provide places for people to recreate, get in the outdoors, get some exercise, and see some very interesting things.
With photographer Jeff Kastner, Grant McComey, KGW.
Love that waterfall. Well, you can watch KGW's half-hour program of Grant's Getaways. The show airs each Saturday and Sunday afternoon at 4 right here on KGW. Well, let's look ahead to the summer and a couple of music festivals planned for Portland's waterfront. First, Project Pabst is making its comeback after a 7-year hiatus. They announced the set list yesterday. The lineup this year includes names like Billy Idol, Big Thief, T-Pain, and Denzel Curry. The 2-day festival is happening July 27th and 28th. Tickets go on sale this Friday. If you want more information on the festival or lineup, we've got a story up on our website, kgw.com. And the Waterfront Blues Festival returns this summer. It's happening July 4th through the 7th. Some headliners include Ben Harper and the Innocent Criminals, Green Sky Bluegrass, and St. Paul and the Broken Bones. Tickets are on sale now. For more information, visit waterfrontbluesfest.com. And that festival news had us wondering about your favorite concerts, so we asked you to share a photo on Facebook. Donna shared this picture from when Aerosmith was at the Clark County Fairgrounds. That's so cool. Look at Aerosmith there. And Veronica says her favorite concert was Randy Travis several years ago when he came to the Spirit Mountain Casino. She says she gave him a dream catcher, and in return, he gave her front row tickets and a signed photo. Brian posted this cool shot from the Shinedown concert last May. And Patricia remembers seeing Peter Frampton in Troutdale last August. She says she's been a big fan of his since the 70s. Also, Jen got a chance to see Duran Duran, the 80s band, in Las Vegas, and Mary got a shot of the cool stage show from the Stray Kids during their tour in 2022. You can share your concert photos of stories or any of the good stuff happening in your community by texting 503-226-5088 or email us at thegoodstuff@kgw.com. Well, it's time to introduce this year's Rose Princesses. Franklin High School announced their winner this afternoon. Julia Dixon will represent the school in the Rose Court. Juliet's a poet, she's an actress, and a student leader of Franklin Talks Race. She hopes to be a clinical psychologist one day, and yesterday Roosevelt announced its Rose Princess.
Our 2024 Roosevelt Rose Princess is Helene Redburn.
Well, they're so excited. Helene Redbird is also an actress in the choir and is co-president of the Indigenous Alliance Club. She plans to study law and anthropology and focus on civil rights for people of color. Well, the first Wednesday of every month is a good energy day here at KGW, where we highlight local people, businesses, and organizations who are doing good things for the environment. We've talked a lot about electric vehicles, and today Chris McGinnis is looking at how drivers can get those cars charged at home and on the road.
As someone who felt like they were pretty fluent in, the transition to EVs,
David Morick did all the research, joined the online forums, considered the financials.
I was surprised how much more I had to learn once I purchased the car.
He found out what 83,000 other Oregonians already have. There's a lot that goes into that switch from a greenhouse gas producing car to an electric vehicle.
Logistics and what to expect from the 120 volt versus the 240 and the level 2 charger.
Enter PGE Plus.
It's an easy one-stop shop to go through all of the things you might need to do as a customer to make that transition successful, easy, efficiently, affordably, and then to connect you in with rebates and incentives that actually put money back in your wallet.
All we do is EV charger installations.
Regardless of choosing a PGE preferred installer, Rob Grove, owner of EV Charge PDX, says working with a specialist optimizes your electric use.
We spend time both during the upfront assessment part as well as after the electricity comes on to make sure that people understand what all those opportunities are.
That makes for a great home charging experience. But charging on the road, as David found out, is not so seamless.
And one really practical example was in Tillamook, where I'd learned that there were some fast chargers. When a couple of those were broken, that there was a pileup of cars waiting to recharge. And this was on a Sunday afternoon.
David says he drove all the way to Lincoln City that day to find a fast charger capable of fueling him for the drive back to Portland.
And so I thought I'd get home at like 5 p.m. I got home at 8 p.m.
ODOT just received $10 million in federal funds to fix broken or out-of-date chargers across the state.
People in Portland want to go to the coast. And so having that infrastructure that makes it a little more seamless would be super helpful.
4 months into owning an EV, and David says the experience has been very positive.
The amount of money that I save now is just, that makes me feel great. Let alone the fact that I'm not burning fossil fuels anymore.
Chris McGinnis, KGW News.
Well, straight ahead, the Oregon Food Bank helped nearly 2 million people in need last year. How you can keep their work going through the KGW Great Food Drive. The KGW Great Food Drive is going on now. Our goal this year is to collect enough donations to provide more than 1 million meals for local people and families in need. Last year, the Oregon Food Bank distributed 87 million meals. And all this week, Rivermark Credit Union will match the first $5,000 donated. Here's what they had to say about being a part of this year's food drive.
We know that food insecurity is a major concern in our community, and we know the Great Food Drive does great things and has made a huge impact on food insecurity in the community. So we're happy to be a part of this for the 8th year.
And we're celebrating our 21st year working with the Oregon Food Bank for the KGW Great Food Drive. So we're highlighting how the food bank is helping fight hunger. Joe Ranieri explains why this year's need is especially high.
What helps run the Oregon Food Bank? A team of volunteers who donate their time packing up boxes of food to help those in need make sure they have a meal on their table.
We are living through the worst rates of hunger since the Great Depression. 100-year flood of hunger.
Susanna Morgan is the president of the Oregon Food Bank. She said last year they saw nearly 2 million people looking for help.
Last year, we had 1.9 million visits at food assistance sites across Oregon and Southwest Washington. That is up 14% over the year prior.
Morgan says there's a couple of reasons why she thinks the need is skyrocketing.
Why is hunger so high right now? And the answer is we've had 40 years of disinvestment in the social safety net. And so housing is high and healthcare is expensive.
One person who knows that need firsthand is Celia Ferrer, who's the Community Philanthropy Associate Director of the Oregon Food Bank.
During the time of the pandemic, I lost my job, and so I accessed SNAP, the Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program.
At one point, she was asking for help, something that wasn't easy for her. But today, she spends her time helping others.
It's very empowering and very fulfilling for me, given that here at Oregon Food Bank, we believe that people with lived experience are the ones who are able to identify and also advance solutions.
Just walking through the warehouse in Northeast Portland, you really get an idea of how many lives they help every day.
Here in this warehouse, we distribute about 1 million pounds of food in the Portland Metro, and all over Oregon and Southwest Washington, we distribute about 104 million pounds.
And how many more they will help down the road. In Northeast Portland, Joe Ranieri, KGW News.
Well, hundreds of local Boy Scouts are also busy collecting food for the community. They spent part of the weekend collecting and sorting thousands of pounds of food for local pantries. The annual Scouting for Food drive kicked off with Scouts delivering 100,000 bags across Oregon and Washington over the last couple of weeks. On Saturday, they braved the cold temperatures to collect all the donations. Next, the local astronaut on board the latest mission to the International Space Station. But first, many of you were out enjoying the sunshine today. Check out some of these great nature pictures sent in by KGW viewers. An astronaut from Camas is now on his third visit to the International Space Station. Michael Barrett is the pilot on a SpaceX mission that launched Sunday.
Ignition, engines full power, and liftoff of NASA Crew 8. Go Falcon, go SpaceX, and go NASA.
The crew docked at the International Space Station. They'll be doing hundreds of experiments NASA says will help prepare for extended human space exploration. Barrett is among 4 astronauts on board. The 64-year-old physician grew up in Camas and worked as a flight surgeon before he was selected as an astronaut in 2000. A new first-of-its-kind approach to law and order in Washington can be found in the holding cells at the Mukilteo police station. Brady Wakayama with our sister station in Seattle shows us how artwork is creating a positive impact for suspects in custody.
Tomorrow's another day. No matter how bad today is, the sun is still going to rise tomorrow, and it's a new start.
And a new outlook on how to take care of people in his community, even if they've made a mistake.
For someone in custody, rather than just staring out the window or staring at this dull, non-inspiring white wall, they have something at least to look at, to think about, and to kind of hopefully relax them.
That's 37-year-old Andy Ilian, the chief of the Mukilteo Police Department. 2 of the 3 holding cells at the station now have murals in an effort to de-escalate tense moments.
How could we possibly reduce the stress and the emotions of a person in a holding cell to gain compliance? And one of the easy ideas was let's make the holding cell a little bit softer with a mural.
Chief Ilian says beautifying these 12x7 rooms was sparked by a TED Talk he saw a couple years ago with a designer.
But if the aesthetics of joy can be used to help us find more joy in the world around us, then couldn't they also be used to create more joy?
And she talks about how interior design can spark joy, and how lots of ways by using colors, lights, we can invoke emotions.
2 local artists painted the murals, costing $800. The first one has been up since December, and the second one was painted a couple weeks ago. Since the installation, MPD has had 10 people in custody. But Chief Ilian believes the murals are well worth it and will make a lasting impact.
Hopefully these murals can kind of help decompress and allow some self-reflection on individuals that makes the whole process safer for them, safer for us.
From a festival featuring female brewers to an art show transforming a Portland hotel, we're checking out things to do this weekend when the good stuff returns. But first, check out this live view from our Cannon Beach Skycam. We're making it through the last few weeks of winter, and if you want to get out and try something new this weekend, we've got to look at some of the events happening around the area. First up, you can celebrate women in the brewing industry at the She Brew Beer and Cider Festival. This is the 9th year for the event that happens this Sunday from noon until 7 at the Red in Southeast Portland. The festival features more than 45 professional female brewers and 10 home brewers from the Northwest. Go to shebrew.beer for more info. And you can keep the positive female energy going by checking out Feminist March at the Hollywood Theater. All month long, the theater is featuring movies that showcase the contributions of women in the film industry. Check out the schedule at hollywoodtheater.org. Or you can immerse yourself in art at the Content Art Takeover. Organizers say it will include visual storytelling by 27 Portland artists. They'll be transforming hotel rooms at the Society Hotel in Old Town on Saturday. Head to wearecontentpdx.com for tickets. Or there's another chance to check out some blues music at the Winter Music Festival. It starts Saturday at 3 p.m. The event that includes 2 stages happens at the Elks Lodge. Acts include Daniel Castro, R.B. Stone, and Johnny Wheels and the Swamp Donkeys. Go to winterbluesfest.net for more info. For more weekend inspiration, check out the 8 Things to Do article up each week on KGW.com. Well, that's all the time we have. We'll leave you with a few more of your favorite concert photos. Thanks for taking some time for the good stuff.